everyone, it's Dominic, the Primetime Treasure Hunter. Thanks for coming by to check out another video. In this video, I'm going to show you a specific example of how you could use what's known as a carton resizer or a box resizer to save a lot of money on shipping, sometimes almost 50% compared to what you would normally pay. Now, you can't use this in every situation. It's just specific situations that you would apply it to, but you need to be aware of that when you are getting your items ready to ship out. So what I have here in this 10 by 8 by 6 eBay box is a light toy. It's one of those light ring toss games that I've shown before as a bolo, and I already have it wrapped up right here in the bubble wrap. Now, when I put it inside of the box without any air cushioning or fill around it, you could see here it leaves a lot of space. So that space needs to be filled. These air cushions, they don't weigh a lot at all. It's pretty minimal. So you just put a layer on the bottom, you put a layer on the top, and that will fill it up. Okay, now when you close it and you tape it and you put it on the scale, this is where we run into a problem. Because what you're gonna see is this goes over 1 pound. And why that's a problem is that this is shipping from New York to Oregon. So it's the farthest that I could ship it in terms of USPS postal zones in the continental United States. And so that makes this cost $10.54 to ship it. Now I sourced it for $2, sold it for $44.99, but $10.54, that's a lot to have to absorb. Now, for those of you who would say, well, you should use calculated shipping, it doesn't matter because in this instance, $44.99 is the established market rate for this item. That's the market cap for this item with a little defect, little flaw in it. It has a little ring that's kind of discolored and trapped in the back, and so that takes a little bit off of the value of the item. And so, you know, if I was to do calculated shipping, I would have had a price to like $34.99 to factor in that it could cost as much as $10 to ship it somewhere. So bottom line, I want to try to prevent spending $10.54 on the shipping. How do I do that? I need to get it to first class rate. If I get it to first class rate, that means 16 ounces or less, it's going to cost me $5.53 to ship it from New York to Oregon. So same item, just weighing a little bit less. I'll show you exactly how much it weighs right here. It's going to significantly reduce the cost. So let me show you here what it weighs. So you could see right there, it's 1 pound and 1.7 ounces. So we need to find a way to reduce that. Now, one thing you would say is, well, use a shorter box, use a smaller box. Well, I do have some smaller boxes around. The problem is the ring toss game does not fit in those smaller boxes. So while sometimes that's an ideal solution to take the weight down, the problem is in this instance, we can't do it because we can't fit the toy in there. So in this situation, the only thing we can do is reduce the box size. And this is where the carton resizer comes in. So you take everything out of the box, and you can see here, it has this little spinning blade on the bottom right there, and it has like a little latch. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna latch this item onto the box like this, okay? And then you're gonna slide it across, and this little blade is gonna go across and it's gonna serrate the box. And then you do that on all 4 sides and then cut the corners and push the flaps down, and you could reduce the size of the box and reduce the weight. So to figure out where you're gonna exactly line this up in the box, you then have to put the item back in. It's already protected well with bubble wrap, so we wanna leave a little bit of a margin just in case we wanna put a little bit of extra cushioning there. So I'm gonna show you what this would look like here. I'm gonna try to find a little spot here. Now, you adjust it right here with this little knob, and so this will adjust where the latch goes. See, so this will move it up and down. So I'm gonna move it down a little bit to see if I could get this exactly in the spot where I need it to go. And I need to bring it down a little bit more in terms of this notch. So I'm gonna lower it again so it's totally adjustable. Just tie it tight or twist it tight. And now I've got it at a good spot. So you can see what's gonna happen here is I have it latched on and I'm gonna slide it across, and I'm gonna show you it's gonna leave these little serrated marks in it. So it's really quick and easy to do, and I'm just gonna, and you can even leave the item in there, it's fine, but I'm just gonna bring it across like that. Sometimes I'll just go over it a couple times just to make sure it went through nice. Cut it this way. I usually just go back and forth like 1 or 2 times. I'm gonna bring it over on the 3rd side. And now I'm gonna bring it over on the 4th side as well. Okay, so let me show you now what this looks like inside. You could see here, like right there, you should be able to see there is a serrated part that's running right across there. So these little like sawtooth marks. So what we're gonna do in order to make the box go down, we're just going to these top flaps, we're just gonna cut the corner right down to where that serrated mark is. So we're just cutting it right here. Let's see if I can show you better. So we're just gonna cut right there, right down to where that serrated area is, right there. And we're just gonna do the same thing on all of the other sides. So just cut right here, and cut right here. So now what we could do, since all the sides are cut, is we could push the flaps down like this. So you'll see what'll happen. I'm gonna turn this down for you so you could see it actually go down. So see that? It pushes it down like that, pushes it down like that, and pushes it down like that. So now we've reduced the size of the box, which is cool, but we could also trim some of this stuff off, which is adding weight. And we need to take out 1.7 ounces, so that's not a ton. So I'm gonna do some trimming here. We're gonna trim this top flap off right here. I'm just gonna raise this up so you can see me, hopefully, and the box. There we go. Okay, so we're gonna trim the top flap off now, because we don't need this anymore. This has now become extra weight that we don't need. And so periodically, we could just go back, put it on the scale, and see when are we at the point when it's 16 ounces or less. So let's see how much weight that wound up taking off. We're 1 pound and a little bit less than an ounce. Okay, so what we could do is cut out most of the inner flaps because we won't really need them, because we will have this part right here to seal it up really nicely. So we're just gonna cut out some of the inner flap here, and we just need to have a little bit to go over. So I'm gonna cut this part off here. Cut this flap down. Okay, and I'll show you what it looks like in just a moment. I'm gonna cut this flap down. All right. Okay, so let me show you what it looks like now. I cut these flaps out that were going across, but you wanna leave just a little bit to go over so you have some basis for this to hold on to right there. Same thing with right here. You got to have a little bit on this end because you need something for this part to hold down firm to. But once you do that, we're going to close this right on top of one another, and this will still be nice and sturdy for a light item that's in there. Okay, so now let's see how much this box weighs when we put it on the scale. I'm going to put it on right here and just come over. We'll check the weight together. And look at that, we are under 16 ounces. In fact, even if it was 16 ounces, that would be okay. So it's 15.7 ounces. In fact, if we want to, we still have room to put some air cushions right on top, and that will still keep us right at 15.8, 15.9 ounces. That's still gonna be perfect. Even when we put the tape over it, we're good to go. The great thing about that is now we could ship this item out, and it's going to go first class. So it's gonna cut down the shipping cost from $10.54 to $5.53. So this item literally just saved me about $5 in shipping costs. This does not cost a lot of money. It's about $17, something like that. So it more than pays for itself. If you're interested in this item, I have the link down below in the description section. So just go click that. It is an Amazon affiliate link. So I get a very small percentage of that, which helps support the channel. And, you know, just for passing on these kind of tips to you, because, you know, in the long term, this is going to add up to save you a lot of money. It's a very sturdy tool, very reliable. I've used it for a long time and really enjoy it. And anyone who I know who uses that tool says the same thing, saves them a lot of money. So if you like this video, make sure you hit the like button, make sure you subscribe, pass this on to others who you think it could help them in their business. Also, make sure you check out my Facebook group for lots of tips and tricks and strategies and all sorts of support from over 6,500 members at this point. That's the Facebook Reselling Resource Center. The link is down below. Also, come by my Instagram. That's @prime_time_treasure. See you all at the next video, everyone. Take care.